From Nebraska's trusted news source, this is Channel 8 News at 5.
Coming up as the anniversary of the Capitol insurrection approaches, how law enforcement are preparing.
Plus, UNL is back to requiring masks indoors. But first tonight.
A once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to give out a lot of money.
Tonight, a legislative session like no other. Good evening, everyone, and thank you for joining us. Day one today of the Nebraska legislative session. The reason it's different?
Well, lawmakers have an extra billion, that's with a B, $1 billion to decide how to spend. Channel 8's Ariana Martinez joins us in the studio to explain what senators from the Lincoln area are excited for this session. Ariana?
Yes, Rod and Megan, today may have been one of the shorter days during the 60-day legislative session, but hundreds of bills were introduced. One of the main things senators are excited to work together on this session is deciding how to spend federal dollars to help Nebraskans.
I think the most distinctive part of this session is the additional dollars that we're both looking to spend through federal ARPA dollars.
Senators will decide how to use over $1 billion from the Federal American Rescue Plan Act, as well as state funds.
And I'm hoping we do it in the best way possible with as many brains and good hearts behind the decisions so that we can really help Nebraskans. And I think that's one of the things I'm most excited about this opportunity this year.
There are a few areas each senator hopes to focus on.
I think there will be a big effort to try to cut Nebraskans' taxes.
Utilize those infrastructure dollars and those recovery dollars in a way that's going to benefit Nebraskans for many years to come.
Mental health for young people, and there are needs of things to do to bring 18 to 34-year-olds to our state. We're really missing the numbers of people for workforce development.
Senator Adam Moorfeld is making sure the voices of students at UNL, which is part of his district, are being heard this session.
One of the bills that I'm seriously considering prioritizing is my Good Samaritan bill for those that have experienced sexual assault and may have been under the influence of alcohol or drugs. A lot of people that have experienced sexual assault that are under the influence of alcohol or drugs are afraid to go to the authorities to report that for the fear of being charged for that use.
Senator Mike Hilgers is also the speaker, and his district covers a portion of Lincoln. But he hopes that bills passed in the Lincoln area will also benefit the state.
If we're doing good policy for the state, that's going to help the constituents in District 21, Northwest Lincoln, and North Lancaster County. And so I think if we can get good policy done, it'll help. But certainly there are issues like the airports in my district. There will be airport-related bills that will come. And there will be some things that we'll focus on just for the constituents in District 21 as well.
Senator Moorfeld has around 15 bills he's personally introducing. He's focusing on creating more mental health resources, keeping the cost of pharmaceuticals low, and overall working on getting rid of health care and insurance types that increase the cost of health care for Nebraskans.
All right, thank you, Ariana. I know you're going to be keeping us updated throughout the legislative session. Appreciate tonight's report. The session started with a prayer and followed by the presentation of the flag for the Pledge of Allegiance.
And this will be Senator Patty Penzing-Brooks' last legislative session. She represents District 28 right here in Lincoln. The bills we can expect to see from her this session have to do with truancy, juvenile justice bills, and workforce development.
It's just exciting to be back. This is the my first day of the legislature. It's my last year. It's been a blessing to be able to represent the constituents of LD 28.
Penzing-Brooks has served in the Nebraska legislature since 2014. She says she'll be using her last session to, of course, represent District 28, but also to benefit all Nebraskans. Masks are making a comeback at UNL for the upcoming semester.
Face coverings are going to be required indoors until further notice. The spring semester starts on January 18th, and faculty and staff and student workers, they are being asked to get tested for COVID next week. For all other students, they're being asked to get tested the following week. The City and East Campus Union locations, they're going to have testing sites there. They're going to have expanded hours beginning January 14th. We have more details on all of this on our website, klkntv.com. And with the spread of the variant, many people are changing the types of masks they wear.
New reports indicate that cloth masks may not protect against the infectious variant. Health experts say cloth masks only block large droplets of COVID, not the smaller particles that carry the virus. So places like Nebraska Medicine and UNMC are now requiring hospital-grade masks in their facilities.
We're just seeing such a sharp rise in the community with clearly, exponential spread. And we're seeing so many of our coworkers out sick that we need to do everything we can to protect, our workforce and be able to maintain the vital functions of the hospital.
And if a patient comes in with a cloth mask, they'll be given a procedure mask to stop the spread. A new partnership in central Nebraska could help people receive the care that they need.
Bryan Health is now the owner of Kearney Regional Medical Center after 10 months in the making. The goal is to increase specialized care for rural patients in that area, of course, and to allow them to stay closer to home when they need medical attention. The Kearney Medical Center says more than 50% of patients seen at their location are from rural areas. Both healthcare facilities anticipate growth, opening up more jobs at both facilities.
If we can grow the service lines that we need, that we currently have to send to the bigger facilities, to Lincoln, to Omaha, we hope that we're going to be able to deliver those services locally so patients don't have to travel as far.
No staff lost their job as Bryan Health took ownership of Kearney Regional.
We have an update now on a house fire we first brought you last night on our 10 o'clock news. It happened in northwest Lincoln near Northwest 22nd and Q Streets. Lincoln Fire tells us, unfortunately, one dog did die in the blaze, but the family is okay. Officials also say the home is a total loss, around $100,000. The Red Cross has been brought in to help out. As far as the cause, we just spoke to investigators this afternoon. They say it's still undetermined.
Now a good update on a missing girl case. The Gage County Sheriff's Office says Kyla Morris has been found and is okay. She was missing for a week. No word just yet on what led to her disappearance or where she was located. The Food Bank of Lincoln had a very busy holiday season giving out food to people in need.
Get this, they gave out nearly 1.4 million meals in just 2 months. The Food Bank of Lincoln says nearly 230,000 people in Nebraska are food insecure. They say the number distributed is close to the average in a typical year, but it was a little less than what they gave out last year during the heart of the pandemic. They say they wouldn't be able to distribute those meals without volunteers.
We are looking for volunteers to help us sort those items, everything from the canned goods, to make sure that they're still within the healthy consumption of those goods, that cans aren't dented or damaged in any way. We want to make sure that we're putting good product back out into the communities. So we need volunteers coming in to help us sort through those items and also pack bags for backpacks or for seniors and different programs like that.
The food bank is also on schedule to move to their new location in Northwest Lincoln. They're planning on moving there in the spring.
All right, let's get a check of your weather. Malcolm, he's still filling in for John tonight. Good to have you here, my friend. Are we looking at any chances of light flurries anywhere in our viewing area?
I think mainly to the southwest of Lincoln. We've been mentioning over the last several days that this storm system could track in a way where it entirely misses Lincoln in terms of snowfall, and that looks like it's going to be the case this evening. Let's take a live look over our Shones roofing camera in Beatrice. No snowflakes falling out that way, just some clouds right now. But here's a satellite and radar perspective, and this is going to kind of fool you a little bit here because there is a little bit of dry air in the low levels of the atmosphere. So where you're seeing white, it may not necessarily be snowing, but it's mainly off to the southwest where I do think snow is perhaps reaching the ground. We do have reports out at Kearney Airport of light snow going on, and I think it's very possible that we could be seeing snow south of Hastings right now. Pretty much anywhere southwest of the Tri-Cities, that's where we're seeing some light snow at this particular point in time. Yeah, it's very cold outside as well. 12 degrees, that's current temperature in Lincoln, 13 in Beatrice, and we see some single digits as well. 9 in Grand Island, 8 in Kearney. Factor in the wind, it feels a couple of degrees below zero in Lincoln, -6 degrees, the current feels like temperature, but already feeling less than 10 degrees below zero out towards the Tri-Cities. We got a cold forecast for this evening, dropping to 10 degrees by 8 o'clock with cloudy skies by 10 o'clock, 8 degrees. We are even colder tomorrow, but it's not going to last forever. We are warming up sometime in our 10-day outlook. We'll talk about that coming up in just a couple minutes.
All right, thank you, Malcolm. Now to a developing story out of Philadelphia. So sad. At least 13 people were killed in a house fire early this morning, and that included 7 children.
As authorities work to determine a cause, they fear that death toll could rise with recovery efforts still underway. ABC's Rena Roy has the latest.
Massive flames and thick smoke tearing through this 3-story row house in Philadelphia early Wednesday morning.
Fire located 23rd and Ogden Street.
At least 13 people killed, many of them children.
As a father and a grandfather, 7 children died. It is it's disturbing.
Firefighters rushing to the scene in the Fairmount neighborhood just after 6:30 a.m. where they found the fires shooting from a second-floor kitchen. Veteran members of the department struggling to find words.
I've been around for 35 years now, and this is probably one of the worst fires I've ever been to. I don't have the words for how we're feeling right now as a community and as a department.
First responders finding an open stairwell to the 3rd floor, causing the fire to spread fast. The fire chief says there were 4 smoke detectors in the Philadelphia Housing Authority-owned building where 26 people lived, but none were working.
That is a tremendous amount of people to be living in a duplex.
Several people were able to escape, some now being treated at the hospital for injuries. The fire is not considered suspicious. Investigators still working to determine the cause. Rena Roy, ABC News, New York.
Still to come on the news tonight, the anniversary of the Capitol insurrection is tomorrow.
However, the investigation and who might still have to testify is far from over. The very latest when we come back.
Join CMA Entertainer of the Year, Eric Church, on The Gathering.
Tomorrow marks 1 year since the deadly assault on the U.S. Capitol.
This afternoon, the Attorney General delivering a rare speech about the massive and complicated investigation to hold those involved in the riot accountable. ABC's Faith Abube has the latest.
As Americans prepare to solemnly mark the 1-year anniversary of the deadly January 6 Capitol attack, U.S. Attorney General Merrick Garland, in a rare speech to his DOJ staff, affirming the violence and threat to American democracy will not go unpunished.
We will follow the facts wherever they lead.
The DOJ's investigation has so far netted more than 700 arrests. More than 170 of the rioters have pleaded guilty, and at least 75 have been sentenced, but hundreds more remain at large. AG Garland, however, facing increasing pressure to also go after former President Trump and his allies, who stoked his supporters with false claims of election fraud that led to the deadly Capitol attack.
The Justice Department remains committed to holding all January 6 perpetrators at any level accountable under law.
The House Select Committee also investigating the insurrection, requesting Fox host Sean Hannity to share his detailed knowledge regarding Trump's state of mind during the riot. The panel says text messages show Hannity was concerned even days before the attack, allegedly texting former White House Chief of Staff Mark Meadows, quote, "I'm very worried about the next 48 hours. Hannity's lawyers have not yet formally responded to the committee, but more Trump allies were sharing their firsthand accounts of his actions as the mob stormed the Capitol building. Stephanie Grisham, one of Trump's longest-serving senior aides, who quit her job in the White House citing the insurrection, now sitting down for an interview with the panel. Grisham has been criticized for spreading lies during the Trump administration, but recently said this about her former boss.
I am terrified of him running for president in 2024. I don't think he is fit for the job.
And Liz Cheney, the highest-ranking Republican on the committee, has also said as much. The panel hasn't ruled out a criminal referral to the DOJ if it finds Trump committed any crimes related to January 6. In Washington, Faith Abube, ABC News.
Now, your Storm Alert Team forecast with meteorologist Malcolm Byron.
Here's a live look over our Honda of Lincoln camera. Not seeing any precipitation right now. All there really is to see is clouds. We have had quite a few of them this afternoon. We're going to continue to be overcast this evening across southeast Nebraska. Now, this is a live look over Kimball, Nebraska, in the southwestern portion of the Panhandle. Boy, look at all the snow they saw out there. This is not going to be a scene we see here in the capital city this evening. Speaking of snow, there is some snow traversing the state as we speak, mainly in the southwest corner of the state. We've been talking about this particular system in recent days and mentioning that it may shift a little bit farther to the southwest, and that appears to be the case, and as a result accumulations also will shift to the southwest. Let's zoom in here. This is the live radar perspective, perhaps seeing a couple of flurries in the southern part of the state, but there may not be flurries down towards Beatrice. The main reason why is because there's a little bit of dry air in the low levels of the atmosphere. It may not have overcome that yet, but down towards Hebron, heading out towards Hastings, just south of Hastings, there's a chance that there is some snow actively occurring right now, but the best chance of that is going to be west of the Tri-Cities at this point in time. Visibilities are often a good measure of where is snow actually falling. We've actually had reports of light snow out in Kearney. That 9-mile visibility does confirm that, but again, mainly southwest of the Tri-Cities, that's where the majority of the snow is falling at this point in time. So let's talk about the snow track with Stormcast starting at 6 o'clock tonight. This will all push off towards the southeast, most of it off towards the west of Lincoln. We won't rule out a flake or two here in the capital city, but overall the odds are decreasing that will be the case. So don't be surprised if you see a flake, but not likely to accumulate in Lincoln. By the time we get past midnight, most of the snow is getting on out of here. Won't rule out a flurry in southern Nebraska in the overnight hours, but by tomorrow morning, all the snow should be out of here. As far as our snow forecast go, we've shifted the ranges farther to the south and west. Not going to see any accumulations here in Lincoln more than likely. Less than 1 inch in this general chunk of real estate here, and that 1 inch is a firm upper bound. It's very possible you may see nothing in this range. It says less than 1 inch, the lower bound being 0. The lower bound here out towards Red Cloud, out towards Kearney is also 0. So under 2 inches out that way with higher accumulations in the southwest corner of the state. The other story is how cold it is. 12 degrees is the current temperature in Lincoln, 13 in Beatrice. We see a couple of single digits as well. We're at 9 in Grand Island, 8 degrees in Kearney, but the wind makes it feel 10 times worse. Feeling like -6 degrees in Lincoln, -3 in Beatrice, with even colder wind chill values out towards the Tri-Cities. Feeling like -11 degrees in Grand Island at this point in time. As you go into the overnight hours, air temperatures are cool and so will the wind chills. Feeling like almost 10 below in the capital city around midnight, dropping to near -20 degrees in the overnight hours. For that reason, there is a wind chill advisory in effect. It goes into effect starting at midnight tonight, lasting through noon tomorrow afternoon. Keep in mind that for exposed skin, frostbite time could be as little as 30 minutes. So for tonight, -1 degrees. That's our forecast low, getting right below the 0 degree mark. It'll be a cold afternoon tomorrow afternoon as well, but we should be dry. 11 degrees are high in Lincoln. 10-day forecast shows slightly warmer conditions on Friday, partly cloudy skies. Should be another breezy day, but even warmer on Saturday. 46 degrees the high temperature there. A small hiccup as we go into Sunday, a little bit cooler, 30 degrees, but then we start to warm back up progressively as we go into next week with plenty of 40s to go around next week. Yeah, that'll be well above average and we'll feel quite nice.
So the big chill won't last too long.
Nope.
All right, thank you very much, Malcolm. Here's a look at Wall Street now. Not a great day. The Dow falling 393 points. NASDAQ also dropping 523. Here are your numbers. You're watching Channel 8, Nebraska's trusted news source.
Night after the powerful testimonies.
Finally tonight, what started seemingly as a lost dog on a bridge ended as a heroic rescue.
Thanks to the clever canine. Here's tonight's Take a Look at This.
Police officers' discovery of a dog wandering on a New Hampshire bridge was just the beginning of an amazing and heroic rescue. Responding officers tried to corral the Shiloh shepherd, but says she kept running away toward these damaged guardrails. It turns out, they say, she was leading them to the scene of an accident.
They discovered a truck which had been overturned with two gentlemen that were ejected from the vehicle.
One of the injured was the dog's owner, Cam Laundrie.
We shook up, didn't know what was happening, and next thing you know, the cops were there, and it was all because of her.
Both men were treated for injuries and hypothermia, and authorities say throughout the ordeal, the dog, named Tinsley, never left her owner's side.
She's my little guardian angel. It's a miracle.
A do-gooder's good deeds gone viral led a community in Tennessee to save the day for their very own friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. It started with Steven Strickerhausen seeing pictures of the costumed superhero, played by 18-year-old resident Isaiah Brooks, surprising kids, visiting hospitals, and spreading smiles on street corners.
It's like, man, this kid's pretty cool. He's doing a lot of cool stuff. I reached out to his mom, asked if there was anything that he needed, and she said, you know, he could use a tune-up on his car.
County residents started collecting donations and within 2 weeks raised $20,000, enough to buy a new car for their very own hometown hero.
I think it's awesome. I don't know how to thank the community enough.
But take a look at this. I'm Jeremy Roth.
That's great. And you're looking at a big Spider-Man fan right there, Malcolm. I was watching.
Webs.
I was watching a weekend show with you and Macy. You had Spider-Man bed sheets, right?
That is correct.
I heard about those
He's like,
as well.
why is he bringing this up again? How's the forecast look?
It's looking, well, cold this evening. 12 degrees by 6 o'clock, 10 degrees by 8 o'clock with lots of clouds. We can't rule out the chance for maybe a flake or two in the capital city, but it looks like accumulating snow is hard to come by in the capital city. You have to go farther south and west to see that.
All right, thank you, Malcolm, and thank you all for joining us.
Be honest, Malcolm, do you still have the Spider-Man sheets?
I actually don't. They got faded by the sun.
See you back here at 6.
With the Channel 8 Eyewitness News mobile app, you'll be the first to know. Get alerts about breaking news and weather, all in the palm of your hand.
Our savings dial is peaked. Luxury hot tubs up to $2,500 off or 24 months no interest. Supreme Spa and
Closed captioning on